Hello, welcome. Hello, this is Matthew from Love Buddy. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a love cast like we do every day, 10 p.m. New York time, 10 a.m. Philippines time, which is where I am. It's 10 a.m. on Friday, the 21st of June, 2019, and we're going to talk about nurturing today. Nurturing. What is nurturing? Okay, well, I shared a definition that I found from the dictionary. It's the process of caring for and encouraging the growth or development of someone or something. Nurturing is one of the key qualities of love. It's one of the most important qualities of love. Nurturing and empowerment. We help each other, we don't compete. It's one thing to compete on the sports field, kick a ball around, throw a ball around, hit a ball around. That's one thing. But when you're not in a sports match, competition, whether it's at the office, in your family, amongst your friends, in your neighborhood, in the business environment, it normally leads to a destructive situation. It normally leads to a situation where you have a winner and a loser instead of a win-win situation, which is what so many people really grabbed onto that idea maybe in the 90s. Win-win as opposed to win-lose or lose-lose. So nurturing is about seeing the people in our environment, the people we care about, the people that we love, and wanting to contribute to them, wanting to help them out, wanting to be a positive influence in our environment, a positive influence in our world. And whether it's a neighbor or whether it's a schoolmate or a workmate, someone in our church, could be, anyone that we know, especially our family, but sometimes that's really a given. And sometimes it's not so obvious to people that we want to nurture the people around us. And what does that mean to nurture? What does that mean? Nurturing, like the definition says, it contributes to the growth. So if I want to contribute to your growth, what am I going to do? Well, one thing I could do to nurture is to listen carefully when you have a problem. I could give positive feedback. I could give constructive criticism, constructive feedback. If I really feel like you're never going to be that pianist that you want to be playing concerts on the piano, how do I encourage you? How do I empower you? How do I treat you when I see something inside of me? I can draw a conclusion that, wow, this guy sucks. This guy doesn't know how to write a song. This guy doesn't know how to play the piano. How do I give you feedback? We have to be honest, don't we? We have to be honest, but we're not there to tear someone down. We're not there to be brutal. We're not there to hurt them. We're there to nurture them. So how can we nurture someone when we see something negative in our environment? Something that actually we feel there's like an elephant in the room that we need to address. Well, we can say, wow, it looks like you're really trying and I really admire your passion. I think maybe you've got some progress to make. You got some learning to do yet. We all have learning to do, but if you stick with it, you can accomplish it. And that's really kind of true for anybody, just about anything. Encourage people to stick with something. We all need nurturing. We all need positive feedback. We all need someone to not only listen, give positive feedback, but how about lending resources? Whether if we have a few dollars to pitch in so they can buy a new baseball bat, or whether we have time where we can go watch them play their tennis match, or we can go to the gallery when they're having an opening in their gallery for their paintings and we can buy a painting, or we can at least make a presence there and an encouragement. There are a million ways that we can nurture each other. And sometimes I think about a plant. A plant, when you want to nurture a plant, you protect it from the harsh sun, maybe, or you make sure it gets enough sunlight, you make sure it gets enough water, enough nutrients in the soil. So nurturing is about protection. It's about nourishment. It's about providing an environment that's safe and comfortable and positive, in which that person or that thing can grow and thrive. We want to empower each other around us because we have enough of everything. There's enough of everything in the world. There's not a shortage of anything, especially love, because love comes from within us. Love is in our hearts. So we just tap into that love, and we can encourage the other people, the people around us. Maybe, for example, it's a parent, you know, and a father. He's tired every day, but he comes from home from work, and he makes it a point to spend some time with his daughter, reading a book together, teaching her how to read, teaching her this or that. How about in a relationship? How about our mate? Do we want that? Do we want to empower that person? Do we want that person to reach? Are we even aware of what their goals are? Are we aware of what their passions are? Maybe that's the first place to start. Start with your own kids, start with your own mate, start with your own immediate family, and think, do I know what their passions are? Do I even know what they're trying to do with their lives? Are they trying to do anything? And how can I empower them to reach that goal? How can I help them to do that? Well, that's a place to start. So it could be giving time, it could be giving resources. If you've got an old lawnmower in the garage and there's a neighborhood boy that wants to start a gardening business or a lawn maintenance business, maybe you can give it to him, or sell it to him over time, give him 6 months to pay it off, and he can go out there and you can mentor him. And here's what happens a lot with nurturing. This happens with all of us with nurturing. This is one of the stumbling blocks. This is one of the things that we have to get over. And that is when the person doesn't even show up. You say, okay, come tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'll give you a lawnmower. I'll show you the lawnmower, and I'll show you what's wrong with it. We can fix it together, something like that. So you're giving, right? You're giving, and you're trying to help the person. You're trying to encourage the person. And then what happens? They don't even show up. Now, this happens more often than not in the world, where we're trying to nurture someone who's not really doing their part. Keep nurturing. Don't give up. Because we all come from an environment that's a challenging environment sometimes. Some of us have never been nurtured before. We don't know what it's like. Some of us are too nervous. Some of us have anxiety. Some of us haven't developed the skills necessary yet to show up on time and to give our best effort, to plan ahead, and to make sure that when we do get help, when we do get resources, when we do get encouragement and nurturing from the outside, that we're there to accept that we're there to benefit from that. So just because somebody doesn't hold up their end, they don't make an appointment, or they don't do what they're supposed to do, they didn't do their homework, and you're trying to mentor them, you're trying to help them, don't give up. Because sometimes there's a barrier we need to break through. Sometimes there's a wall. Sometimes there's resistance that we need to overcome. But persistence is a quality of love. Keep it up. Don't give up on that person. If you've decided to nurture that person, do your best to hang in there, to keep trying, to not give up. And that happens a lot. Okay, where else? What about at work? What about the people that are at work? Do we compete with the people at work? Do we withhold information? Do we not encourage them? Are we not positive? Are we not friendly? Don't we don't want to empower the people at work? How about our customers? How about our clients? Do we think, how can we empower them? A company that's going to be really successful is a company that's based upon relationships. And relationships come from love. You see these old tricks, these 60s books about how to sell a billion blah blah in whatever time and things like that. Common denominator is always about relationships and building a relationship. You remember the wife's name. You remember the son's name. You remember the dog's name, right? These are the old tricks about being a salesman. Well, the only reason those ever worked, and the only reason nurturing ever works, is because we really do care. We come from a place where we really do care. And we do automatically, naturally remember the dog's name because we care about this person and how much they love their dog or their wife or their kid or their car or whatever it is. So anything that works with building a relationship is going to be based upon love. And anything that works with building a relationship is also part of the nurturing model. Because if someone's tearing us down, if someone's not encouraging us or building us up or helping us in the areas that we want help, empowering us in some way, then the relationship isn't going to be too positive for us. It's not going to be something that really attracts us. And when it comes to something even like a bowling partner, people on your bowling team, you show up every Tuesday night at bowling night. You work together as a team. That empowers you. Why? Because you get this gratification of being a winning team. You love bowling, and you're working together. You guys are partners in this. That's empowering. That's a kind of nurturing. If they show up and they're there to be the best team you can be, maybe, or at least if you're not even trying to be a great bowler, at least you're there to have some beers and have some good fun, have a good conversation, and enjoy a little bit of recreation. So when we look at the relationships around us, when we look at the people in our lives, one of the key ways that we can see that we can love one another is through nurturing, through empowering, through knowing, caring enough about the people around us. What do they want to do? Where do they want to go? What are the problems are they having? And how can we help with that? Because when we help others, not only selfishly could they help us back, maybe, but indirectly even, we have more people that are doing well. It's going to help the whole world. It's going to help us, if not directly, then indirectly, and that's great. I mean, think about the wasted lives. Think about the thousands of children dying every day through our neglect because we're not working on programs to get them clean water. So they're drinking dirty water and they get these infestations, these parasites, and they die of diarrhea because there's no simple medicine and there's no simple water filters. There's no clean water. And we're losing thousands of young people a day, children below the age of 5 years old, through our neglect, through our lack of nurturing. That is a stellar example. What about what the government does in allowing homelessness on the streets? Using the money system as opposed to using the love system, as opposed to being compassionate, as opposed to being nurturing and caring about these people. So these people, living on the street, die on the street. People in neighborhoods that are struggling, kids that grow up believing that nobody cares about them because maybe very few people really do care about them, feeling that they have to fight to survive. So they get a knife or they get a gun or they learn to fight. They end up killing or being killed. And there's a whole heck of a lot of that in the United States alone. Lack of nurturing. So you can't count on the government to care. You have to do that yourself. You can't say, oh, there's a government program that handles that. Now I'm going to go back to watching reality TV. It's not working, is it? And it hasn't been working. What about racial divides? Racial divides in America, they can serve a lot of people who have some kind of agenda where they want to keep people divided. Democrats and Republicans, that's an excellent way to keep people divided and not nurture them. Everybody needs the same thing. We all want happy families. We all want good, healthy food. We all want peace. We all want joy. We all want to have fun in our lives. We want a roof over our heads. We want to have time for recreation and fun and holidays, and we want to have meaningful work. Everybody wants that same thing, every single human being, because that's the nature of a human being. And the most different that you could imagine someone from you, they're still more than 99% the same needs, the same basic desires. And what happens when we rely on people that have manipulated themselves into power, people that have put themselves in a position, and you've allowed them to be in a position to where they're dictating what you can have and what you can't have. And they're taking from you every paycheck in order to pay for things that they want. And they never have to go into these inner city neighborhoods where people are fighting just to survive. They don't serve the jail time when somebody's so desperate that they end up getting in a fight or selling drugs or doing something illegal, stealing something, just to survive. And they're convinced of that because They're being raised, they're growing up in an environment where there is no nurturing. Maybe it's a single mom and the single mom's working all day just to put enough bread on the table. Or maybe the single mom is just so overwhelmed. She's become so overweight. She's just sitting in front of the TV set. She's given up on her boys, her teenage boys, because they're bigger and stronger and they're fight with her every time she says, do your homework. This is a reality for millions. Lack of nurturing. It's got to start with us. It's got to start with people knowing that if we have a foundation of love, if we have a love as a center, not money as a center, not the government as a center, not a religion or dogma as a center, but love as a center of our lives, a foundation for us. We're going to help each other. We're going to set an example where we're helping each other. And those of us that are able to help, everybody's able to do something, but some of us aren't in a very good position. Some of us need a leg up. Some of us need a couple bucks, or some of us need a little time. Some of us need a little training. Maybe all of us need an opportunity to help each other, to contribute, to give. So that's what nurturing is all about. And if we believe in love, we believe in nurturing, and we help out where we can. Because nurturing not only applies to other people outside of us, or a cat that's out in the rain, it applies to ourselves too. We're aware of the nurturing that we need, the nourishment that we need, the attention that we need. Excuse me, we're going to go out and get that. We're going to make sure that we have that. And when we have that for ourselves, because love is universal, we're going to be creating that automatically for others. Some of the most nurturing people, we've seen videos on the internet of people that are homeless. Some guy gives them $5 and they go out and buy food for other homeless people because they know what it's like. People who have never spent a day hungry, they don't know what it's like. They'll say things like, get a job, the guy's on welfare, he's just a parasite on humanity. Probably not. This person probably needs some nurturing. And that's not throwing money at them. That's not sharing your dogma with them. Not giving them a book to read. But it's finding out what they need and helping them to get that. And investing your time, your energy, your love. If you're good at doing that, you got to be good at doing that for yourself too. And we all win. Everyone benefits. Without nurturing in the world, well, you see what we've got. We've got cities, violent cities. We've got filled prison system. That people open prisons now so they can make money, not to help anybody. It's not about helping anybody. Putting up walls to prevent people that are desperate, that are coming into the country trying to get help. Instead of trying to create a system where we're nurturing these people, where they're productive members of society, where we say, okay, welcome. Now, here's what we need to do. Here's what we do in our community. We pitch in, we do this, we do that. We get this help, we give this help. We cooperate, we work together. Instead of creating a system of community centers where people can get help, where people can grow, where people can learn, where people can get the nurturing that they need to really self-actualize, to really thrive in life. The opposite is occurring. Most of the people that are in charge of the resources aren't really nurturing. Some people are. We need to do more of that. And we need to not empower more of the people that are tyrants, that are taking advantage, that don't care. We want to empower people. We want to nurture people that want to help too, that want to give back, so that we become a stronger culture. And it's the neglect of this nurturing that has allowed tyrants to be in charge. People who are shrewd and manipulate power, and they tell the right lies, and they have the right look, and they do the right things so that they can manipulate themselves into a position of power, but they're not really helping anyone else. And the United States government, if you take a trip around, go to St. Louis, go to Detroit. The US government is an absolute failure at nurturing its populace. absolute failure that would be if they were even trying, but that's not their agenda. Look at the money that goes into the military. Look at all the attention and all the distraction that is going into attacking Iran now. These are the people that are making decisions. These are the people that are stealing your money. Do you want to empower them? Or do you want to empower your neighbors? Do you want to nurture your neighbors? Do you want to nurture and empower yourself so that we're empowering an environment of love? We're creating and we're contributing to and we're energizing an environment of love and compassion, understanding, and nurturing. Because right now, the people that are the most active are not doing that at all. And our world, especially the United States, which I know pretty darn well, it's not doing that at all. That's not occurring at all. So nurturing, it's not only about yourself, but it is about yourself too. It's not only about your children or your parents or your neighbors, but it's about the whole world too. And once we understand that a love-centered life, having a foundation of love in our lives, makes all the difference. We live that way, we share that way, we teach that way. Every mouth can be fed, everyone has clean water, everyone has the education they need so they can serve others, so they can contribute, so they can do something meaningful and be proud. Wow, I'm the best welder that there is in the neighborhood. I know how to grow tomatoes, and I share that with people. I know how to sing, and I get a chance to sing because I love singing, and people love to hear me sing. It could be anything, serving humanity. It's a million different things, and everyone's needed, and everyone has a gift. But what a waste when we've got thousands of children dying every day. What a waste of talent. What a waste of potential. And what a cruel, cold, heartless way for people to die. And it's happening. But not if we nurture each other. Not if we focus on nurturing. Not if we share nurturing. And nurturing involves so many qualities of love. And if we focus on that, there's always a way. Yes, we're all limited. Oh, I don't have that much money. I don't have that much time. Yes, okay, fine. But let's make sure we do what we can. That's all. That's all it takes, is just doing what we can. Okay, that's it for today. That's a LoveCast. We've got a, you can see here, oops, here. Got a course coming up in the next several days. You can join, it'll be available. Love 101 talks about genuine love and how incredibly powerful love is. You know, it's something that's right under our noses. It's something that we've always known. But instead, we live money-centered lives so much of the time. Or we live other-centered lives, but it's not about love. And love is where all the magic is. And love is the secret that's out in the open. And when we have our foundation as love, when we have the center of our lives as love, as you can understand what real love is, the world open, doors open, the world changes. You live a meaningful life. You live a happy and a joyful life because you're living in harmony with the universe. Okay, so that's what this course is about coming up. Check that out. Check back when it's ready to go. I'm going to announce that in the next couple of days. Still putting on some finishing touches. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope your life is filled with love. If you want more love in your life, come back, watch tomorrow, same time every day. 25 minutes ago I started. So whatever time that is for you, check it out. Well, I welcome your comments, welcome your feedback, welcome your ideas. Thanks so much. I love you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.